Okay, so here it is. Time to take your knowledge about direct and indirect quotations and put it to good use. In this worksheet, you guys really need to take a look at what is being said in the sentence. Decide whether or not somebody is directly speaking, in which case we use quotation marks, or indirectly speaking, in which case we do not use any quotation marks at all. Remember, a direct quote is a speaker's exact words in quotation marks. That is a very important thing that you need to remember. If we do not have the person's exact words there, then it is not a quotation mark. We do not need quotation marks. An indirect quote tells about what a person said, but it isn't the exact words. We do not have exact words that a person is speaking with an indirect quote. It is not enclosed in quotation marks. We really need to know that too. Okay? It's not enclosed in quotation marks. All right, so make your punctuation pointer look like this. This is what's going to help you fill out this. So make sure that you annotate your punctuation pointer just like mine looks. Pause the video and take a second to do that now. All right, so welcome back. You should have paused the video to make your punctuation pointer look like this. You need to know this information here to help you fill this out. Please refer back to this every sentence so that it will help you decide whether or not you need quotation marks or whether or not you don't. Let's take a look at the very first one. We need to add the correct punctuation to direct quotes. Remember, that's going to include our quotation marks, and it's also going to include punctuation, okay? It's going to include commas or periods. One of the two. It's either going to have a comma or a period. Number 1, our neighbor says that she never goes outside when it's raining. Our neighbor says that she never goes outside. Does your neighbor say she never goes outside when it's raining? No. In this one, notice the word that. We are not using the neighbor's exact words here. Because of the word that, it indicates that we are using an indirect quote here. In this case, we do not need to add any quotation marks. And because it's an indirect quote, and because it's an indirect quote, we also don't need to change any punctuation. We don't need to add any commas to this. Because we don't need to separate the speaker's exact words from the source words. This sentence is correct. Number 2, the librarian asked us to return our books by Friday. Ooh, in this case, we do not see the word that. But we do see that it says the librarian asked us to return our books by Friday. Did the librarian say, think about this, did the librarian say any of these words? Return our books by Friday. To return our books by Friday. or us to return our books by Friday. Does that make sense for for a librarian to say that? It doesn't. It doesn't make sense. Okay? The librarian, if you think about what the sentence actually means, the librarian is asking people to return their books by Friday. We are not using the librarian's direct words here. Maybe her direct words could have been, please return your books by Friday, or will you return your books by Friday? But because we don't have her exact words in here, this is not a direct quote. This is an indirect quote. And an indirect quote, it is not enclosed in quotation marks. So there's nothing I need to add to this sentence. Take a look at number 3. I can't believe she thought I'd lie for her, Tanya said. Is anybody directly speaking in this sentence? Yeah, if you said that Tanya is speaking in this sentence, you are absolutely right. Tanya said is our source words. What is Tanya saying? She's saying, I can't believe she thought I'd lie for her. Perfect. So our quotation marks go around her direct words, her exact words. That's what she's being quoted on. Now, we're not done because we need to separate our source words from our direct quote by using a comma. So be sure to add your comma before the end of the punctuation. Notice that I did not put my comma out here after my quotation marks. I put them inside my quotation marks. Make sure that that's clear when you write yours. Okay, now remember, if it's an indirect quote, words that you might be looking for are the words to or the words that. And I'm just going to type the word that. If in your sentence you have the words to or that when it's describing what somebody said, like asked us to or said that, then this is most likely going to be an indirect quote, okay? So feel free to add that to your annotations up top. Okay, guys, go ahead and complete the rest of this worksheet 4 through 10. Good luck, and show me what you can do.